standby.
1 hour.
Okay. So, you guys traveled through the Lifeless Prairie, battling numerous strange creatures, up to and including a Demogorgon. Finally, the night before you got to where you're at now, you traveled across the last stretch, which is barren and rocky. Even the dead plants seem to fade as you continue in. The sky overcast and gray, barely any light coming through other than an ambient gray glow over everything. You eventually see and hear thousands, hundreds of moaning voices as you approach. You can see the area in front of you here. There's a collection of what you saw at the beginning of the campaign, these demonic corrupted orcs, the Tanaruks, along with a multitude of zombies. And there are other zombies hundreds of feet off, hordes moving in different directions away from the temple. And as you approach within a half hour or so, you can see the top of the gate, the circular gateway, which shimmers with a faint energy. As you approach within 20 or so minutes, you see it flicker and flash with red, hellish energy as gouts of fire come up. And Nori gets the sense that something bad has happened. You get closer and closer and peer over the edge of this cliff, and you can see the scene in front of you from where you all are at. And you immediately recognize, even from this distance, Rashan, he's holding a child next to him. And as you peer over the cliff, his figure seems to glow with what you recognize as illusory magic. You can tell at your level as his form grows and he peers in your direction, and you can see in the distance his material form gripping the hair of this child, his gray ashen skin, slender fingers running gently at first through the unmoving child's hair, the blonde color striking an uncanny resemblance to Nori's own locks. His fingers curl and grip the hair tightly, causing the child obvious discomfort and pain. And his other hand holds an obsidian black dagger. You fools. Welcome to your graves. Here is where you will die. Why do you even fight? Do you know? For the monotony of a daily life? Worship a god who feels nothing for you? To you, Nori. For the 1,000 years of peace? Makes you soft. Spits. Chaos is what breeds true strength. You have to smile through the pain as I did, over and over, until the pain made me smile. His lips curl into a choice grin. Simply, I hold no ill will or grudges against you. You'll simply die here. You'll die quickly, and you'll be forgotten. Resist, however, and your death will be slow and obscene. To accomplish great things as I have, he gestures to the temple, requires sacrifice. It requires casting away the unused and the worthless. Prepare to be cast away with the other refuse. Perhaps I will have use for some of your corpses. We shall see. And he slits the child's throat, and the green soulstone flickers to life. River 6. This is your final roll for initiative.
You're the talisman guy.
So, Rashan slits the child's throat. You all leap into action, and as you do so, the portal shimmers. You can see a huge feminine figure becoming more visible within, and a spectral hand reaches out of the portal and casts down a meteor swarm, which in this environment, you see her hand reach out and turn. It erupts up from the earth as portals open. I need you all to make dexterity saves before we even start initiative here. This wall of water is 300 feet long, 300 feet high. You can no longer see the temple. So Percy, surprisingly, is the only one able to hold his ground.
You got this, right?
So that is...
You don't broach it.
I'm so worried about Ellie.
I can watch it twice, but
Excellent.
I can
Now it is
talk
the
about
zombies who...
something that has
The
land.
zombies.
Some of them need to make a wisdom saving throw, yes?
Yeah.
This will calm you down.
They
Psychic,
take
probably.
35 points of psychic damage.
Psychic.
Nice.
That's good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Zombies' turn. Nori, you are up.
Me.
Okay, I'm going to glance out of the cage, look at Ellie, look at the child that Rashan just cut his throat.
I don't think you can technically see
They cut
me,
the third
but
yet. Or-
No, he cut
One.
the one he's
the
holding.
one he was holding.
No,
there's
he
still one
just
left.
cut.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
went over to one he's holding now and then
Yep.
he cut it. So.
And then I'm gonna look at Tristan. I'm gonna pull out a supreme healing potion, and as my action, take it. So that's max, right?
Yep.
So that's 60 points of healing to me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, with my mace, reach out, touch Tristan, and do a first level cure wounds on him. With my
Excellent.
mace as a bonus action.
Also max, right?
Yeah, so you get 17 points of healing,
Okay, so that.
and that would be an additional 3 to me. So 63 total for me.
Advantage of dry race.
All of the Tanaruks charge and leap into the waters. 3 of them swimming up, the other 4 moving in, a couple of them not quite able to make it. But that's all they can do on their turn. It is now Percy's turn.
Fuck
Rashan,
not
how are
Percy.
you looking? Do you look-
119 out of 190.
Looks way better than me.
Yeah, Ellie looks like shit.
What are you talking about? She is fabulous.
She's beautiful, but she looks very wounded. And I don't like
Extra
that.
dirt.
All the leaves in her hair are burned like, on the edges. Her-
Beautiful Ellie.
She's wearing her crown though.
Good.
I don't
I was gonna say,
Wear it with pride.
Your
I don't
mantle is a magic
particularly
item.
like this.
Yeah.
Raslin, as soon as you're drawing your bow, drops it, and you can see Rashan, all the cultists. You can see Nori and Tristan inside of a glowing arcane force cage. You cannot see Nissa.
She's really hard. She's like
Yeah.
right
She's
behind
tiny.
someone.
Yeah.
Cannot see Nissa, the kids, but you can see pretty much everything else.
Was Nissa before Rashan?
No,
No.
Rashan goes before Nissa.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
still,
normal
I still
movement
need
is
to
30.
check athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah.
Natural 20 for
And I was like, I can
No,
launch right
no problem.
First nat 20 of the game.
Yeah!
Being from Thorn Harbor, used to days on the beach swimming,
Where do you wanna
just
be?
sail out of this.
So you're outside of the... This is the start of the tidal wave, the blue marker.
You gotta maneuver a little bit to avoid attack of opportunity from a couple
Yep.
of Tanaruks, but that's fine. You still make it out.
I'm gonna go. Holy Dagger comes out of the Assassin Bracers.
Awesome.
The Flame Sword comes out, and I'm taking 2 strikes against the Tanaruk on the ground, not in the
Okay.
tidal wave. Because of
Sneak it up.
Because of foresight.
Yeah.
Yeah. hell yeah.
Oh, fucking
Foresight's gonna give you
foresight.
sneak on every turn.
Ellie, that was clutch.
Oh yeah.
It's 1,000 potential.
That was clutch for the road.
Oh, yeah. So portals flicker.
You don't have to
can.
be next.
A ominous sort of a hum that goes over the battlefield, and Teth steps out on top. Her hand, one behind her, holding it, and she looks around, horrified. Her beautiful elven skin turns pale as she sees what's going on around her. She sort of closes her eyes and focuses, calls out, "You have to protect me. I'm trying to bring the rest." And you see her hand reach out, and another portal flickers, flashing lights, and opens.
Who did she say that to? All of us?
Everyone.
Everyone. Protect a Teth. So Teth goes after Percy.
Or that's-
your
that's
friendly lair,
after
actually. Day. We are back to
Our friendly lair.
yeah.
Friendly
I
layer.
just like
Back to-
just made my head so cloudy. I did not like that.
No, you can't go this way. Yeah, my legs. I can still feel it. Protect us. Go kill Rashan.
I cast Summon Bill.
Yes.
And then I would like to.
Rage.
Large is 4 squares.
2 by 2, yep.
What happened to the weird thing I was using as a tiger?
It's right here.
All that.
Bullet.
I would like to turn into a giant toad and swim out.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll put Ellie right here.
Get it, Battletoad.
So where do you want it? Like here?
Yeah, just next to the season.
Okay. So you
Well,
sweat.
maybe a little farther
Battletoads,
towards the
man.
top.
So you leap off
That?
over.
Because I can move 40 feet.
You leap off over the Tanaruk, avoiding its sword swing, and one kick of the frog's legs just come out of the tidal wave and land on the ground.
Do you think there's like 40?
Yeah, that's probably good.
So,
Yeah, protection.
I'm going to attempt to Dimension Door me and Nori out of the Force Cage.
Okay, I need a charisma saving throw.
That's too big.
27. I got plus 16.
That'll do it. So
It was
your
almost 1 digit, so I was like,
I had luck just in case.
hand on Nori, you dimension door, and it appears, flickers, and you touch force cage. Focus. Closing your eyes, the dimension door comes back, and you pull both of you through the dimension door to. John turns around, having felt his arcane force cage flicker. And
Hello
break.
there.
No.
Bonus action, Bow the Enmity.
All
On
right.
Rashan.
Yeah. So that gives me advantage on my attacks.
You have an ace in his action.
I also have Axe and Surge.
Yes, you do.
7 plus
I could use an action surgery.
14.
Can I see a
20,
30 foot? How much?
21 to hit.
21 will hit.
Alright. So I'm gonna throw in a 2nd level Divine Smite into this too.
Awesome. 3 big cracks, gashes down his back. He turns. The last one goes across his neck and chest, and he coughs up some blood. You can see him holding the child, the obsidian black dagger, and he looks you straight in the eye. You can't stop her. And the dagger towards the child.
I was gonna say that's my turn, but you got options.
It is now Rashan's turn.
It's gonna kill.
The last one before his turn is his legendary action. 18 points of force damage.
Nice. Good for him.
That was his legendary action. It is now his turn. Alright. How many hit points are you at?
Me?
Yeah. Pulls the
97.
child up off the ground with the dagger. Stop me either. Power word kill.
Negated because of Death Ward.
Yeah.
Yep, so I technically
You fall. You are prone. With 1 point. And you see him frantically looking around. And he is actually going
Decides not to kill the kid, which is good.
He's going to use his bonus action, Benign Transportation. Whoops. And he moves over here. Actually, that's
I was gonna say you can bring someone with him?
yeah.
Oh.
Rashan.
The kid.
The child.
Dagger
I
at
could see Nessa's
child's throat. Action, bonus action.
The thing is, does he only need 2 kids? Does he need the 3rd? Why would he move away from the 3rd if he didn't need it?
Hey Ariel, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Would I know if I healed one of those dead children? Would their soul return to their body and eliminate?
Give me a religion check.
Ariel, at this point, how many kids has he killed?
2
Two.
lights, 2 kids.
Oh, the blue light is not.
Yeah, it was on when we were being off. It's
Yeah.
just hard to see that it's on.
We knew one kid died when we.
15.
Hard to say. Soul stones are ancient, and there's not a whole lot of information on them. You've gotten quite a bit in your travels and finding them, but whether or not a soul can be pulled out of it without other action is hard to say. Okay, Tristan down to 1 hit point.
Huh?
21 points of thunder damage.
Ooh.
No,
Yeah.
sorry, 30,
I'd say,
31
mind
points of
stirring
thunder
that stuff
damage.
in there when you just
To these 3.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, and they get to make a Constitution saving throw to half the damage.
So it needs to make a con save.
Okay, on the
I
zombie.
don't even know what my next move is going to be. I don't even know.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm playing as the fuck right shot, man.
Ellie can cast spells in wild shape form.
Yeah.
Yeah, just certain ones.
I mean,
Badass.
you have the soul he needs.
13.
Yep.
Oh, so they fail.
Okay, I got
they
something.
take
Alright.
46.
I know what
I
I
took
have
a
an
couple
action I can
pictures.
do.
but
I have to maintain
not that one.
concentration, but it makes it a little harder for me to get it.
In case you need it, it's
Oh
the
yeah,
six.
I definitely need a picture of this shit.
Takes 13 cold damage and has disadvantage on its next weapon attack.
Awesome. Okay, the one, this is one grappling her, the one that's attacking her, that's the one you're
I'm
doing
actually
now?
not stressed.
Yeah.
I'm so
Okay,
stressed.
excellent. It's still alive.
I mean, I'm
but
enjoying it.
bloody.
Like,
Okay.
Over half.
this,
Same.
we've been
Then
playing these characters for
that
years.
was
Yeah,
This is it.
I think I've just reached a year with my character because I want to say it was around October.
As much as
when I
possible.
started
Please
playing
do.
with you guys.
Okay,
I don't know
that
if you
could be
guys were
useful.
listening, but I cast Healing Spirit on top of attack. So
Awesome.
That
she's
works.
got healing coming every one
Thank-
of her turns.
What did you do? You roll every time, or
Yeah, every
Okay.
time.
All right.
Could
that's
you
awesome.
always?
You have what you pop them wings. You got what you want.
Talk about
Get out
it.
here. I'll hold them up. Get by you time.
So I could maybe.
We can't let this thing get through. And then I'm just gonna rush right at Rashan, whip out.
How many feet?
I'm hasted, so I have 8 feet right now movement, 100 fly speed right now.
You get right up to him next to Tribune Renarius, and his sword is out, and he looks up at you. Let's do this.
And he still has my vow on him, because
Yep.
that lasts a minute, so I get advantage on 3 attacks against this motherfucker.
Okay.
19, so that's a crit.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yes.
In your head, you hear the voice of Aeus. It was today, child. When the time comes. Use this.
Ooh.
I'm shaking so bad. I can't even like hold it and read it.
Just crumples while you're eating. Oh, crap. I did what I
It's the
could,
end
guys,
of
on him.
his turn. He's going to use his legendary action after his turn. And slits the teeth of the child.
Got no.
The black obsidian dagger shimmers with blue light. You can see a red soul ripped from the child, fading to blue, dark, black. As it hovers around the dagger, Rashan points to the red soul stone. And flash, the soul is transferred in. The light is on. The portal erupts. I need a dex save from Nori and Tristan.
I take the other advantage right now, so the haste. 11?
A single foot steps out through the portal. Armored, golden and black, shining plate. Sword tip emerges, 2 points coming to a curved end, and emerging from the portal is Xala. Fuck. The exalted witch. Death. Fuck. Here to claim the material plane as her own layer of hell. She looks at Rashan. You can see hollow black eyes and a slight smirk with a regard of care towards Rashan, and her teeth bare as she looks at the rest of you. Rashan's turn, his legendary action in the gate, and it is Wrestling's turn.
You got this, wrestling.
It's only a minor deity.
Only.
Who you do count?
25 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Yeah, we need people up by us.
We need help.
Help. We need some help.
Somebody.
Help.
It's not the
Not
song.
just anybody. Help.
That's what I'm.
The song banishment.
Okay. It is Nissa's turn,
Fuck that bitch.
who's only taken 7 damage.
I've been focused on Rashan getting us out of things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like she's been kind of doing the same thing I've been trying to do, like distract the other people.
Yeah. And like buff if needed. Yeah.
As a druid.
Yeah.
She's doing the same.
You guys are like on opposite sides doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Trained by the same people.
Yep. Weird. But she's a bitch.
Right.
And
She
not
was
as pretty.
my best friend
Yeah.
now, I think.
Yeah.
Through some helpers, she leaps off, falling. You hear a crunch as fractures a bone. She jumps off the next edge. Another crunch. You see her hobble as she rolls onto the stone, actually catching herself. She gets up, and she her dull eyes and her face have zero emotion as she uses her verbal somatic component, starts welling up in necrotic.
Temporal shock.
You're doing it?
Okay.
Okay. She's
Fuck
casting harm.
yes.
Yeah, she's
Fuck
casting.
yes.
Yeah.
What's the range
You
on
know
that?
this spell is harm on attack.
120.
Yeah, it's pretty
do
far.
120.
She has to make
Sorry.
a wisdom
Here's
save.
90.
She's close enough. She's close enough to be 120.
Oh yeah, she's
For
within
me.
like 70 or 80 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the save?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, she's gonna be wise because she's druidic
She's
still.
also
proficient
undead.
with
She's still
those.
got to beat a 19.
She has a
Yeah.
+8 to
She's
her wisdom
proficient.
saving throw.
Yeah, proficient, but
Rolled an 18.
Still worth the try.
It was
Still
definitely
worth
worth
it.
a try.
So I'm letting loose the arrow, the +2 arrow.
Excellent.
fuck 'em up, person.
That's a nat 20.
Okay,
Oh.
Alright.
Fuck.
go ahead and roll.
That's gonna make getting that dagger a lot
Do
easier.
you really want me to roll?
I really do.
I do
Who'd
too.
you shoot?
Rashan.
That's 94 points of damage to Rashan.
Alright, so you draw back Darian's Whisper, and this, having been an enemy throughout the entire campaign, plaguing you all, Percy draws back his legendary bow. How do you want to do this?
As the arrow is flying through the air, I go, "Hey, Rashan! Bethany, Malik, John, Nori, Ellie, and especially me says, 'Fuck you!'" And it goes right through his head.
Hell yeah. This echoes throughout the battlefield, even with everything going on. You all turn your heads and hear, and Rashan, staff, dagger in hand, he turns to your booming voice, and as his face turns, he says, can't even finish the sentence. Goes straight through, right in between his eyes. The back of his head explodes over the 3 cultists and all over the stonework up top, and he falls to the ground, his dagger clattering in Tristan's direction. It's about 3 feet from him.
I'm just gonna yell, Tristan!
That's my turn.
Someone needs to tip Rashan over. I just want to see that many knocked over. Katrina, do it! You deserve it. Yeah. I've been told this whole time. Oh.
It's been riveting.
She's just frogging around.
But Ellie's totally awesome.
I haven't been hit yet since I remember.
That's going in the highlight video.
Xala's turn.
Yep.
All right, back to it. Xala emerges from the portal and
What is going
surveys the land around her, looks down. Sadly, a single flaming tear runs down her cheek as she looks at Rashan, being his patron. Anger flits across her face, and her mouth moves into an unnaturally large, toothy grin as she looks down at Renarius, Tristan, and she will move here.
She doesn't fit. She can't go there.
I think she's. It looks like she was resting on my. On that lady.
I think she's
She
a
is.
demigod
She's
and she
on
goes
your
where the
cage.
fuck
She's
she
on
wants
your
to.
baguette. Dirty.
It's on your plate.
That's fine.
All right, Laura.
I don't want her to break it.
Sorry.
She was out, having seen your arrow kill Rashan, she
Bring it,
moves
bitch.
to get Tristan out of the way. Sensing the divine touch within you, she will attack you 3 times with her longsword.
Ooh. Good thing I didn't use my reaction yet.
Let's see, I gotta use a more hellish dice for
Alright.
this.
Well, save for
First one is a 20 to hit.
miss.
Second is a 32 to hit.
That's a hit.
Third is a 30 to hit.
Hit.
Her first strike slashes out and you matrix dodge it, and then she comes slashing down right across your chest and gut, and then across to make sort of a plus sign across your armor as it slashes through.
Lazy thing.
4. By the way, that's how many hit points I have left after that.
You are looking real.
Luckily, I can boost myself up pretty easily.
It looks after seeing you bloody in front of her, she maintains her toothy grin and looks up at you, Nori. And says, "Corrupt. I need you to make a charisma saving throw."
Use the charm, girl.
I'm not good. I'm proficient.
Are you near Tristan enough to get the longsword?
She's
No, I'm not.
proficient, but she's
17 plus 9.
It's 26.
26.
Just saves.
Oh my god.
action. I'm gonna lay on hands and use all of it to
Touching
bring me
yourself?
back. Oh yeah,
All right.
I have used it all, and I'm at full. Well, not. I'm at 75 hit points. All right. What type of action do I need to do to get that dagger? Would that be considered a free action?
Free action would be good.
I'm gonna pick it up. And hopefully this is the dagger that we're doing this with.
We don't know which one's the void dagger. I'm just guessing.
The voice of Ace floods you.
Okay.
It's got another sheet.
Ah!
It says, let's see, it's a long term. Several vehicles. Choose.
Oi, a monster.
What's in your direction?
Funny thing about us, the Raventons, we're here to end you. We're a bunch of killers, just like you and me. I think it's time for this world to be done with killers for a while. I fly it, I use the wings,
Boom.
fly up, straight to her face, and I go for the stab.
Her eyes erupt into flame. She looks at you.
31 to hit. I did ask when I was
legendary
flying
action.
and stuff.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this is
Which
me,
is
so I should pay attention.
Her, it's a sort of a resurrect. It uses some necrotic energy, and she reaches out towards Rashan.
I have to try.
Pulse of black.
Temporal shunt. I have to try.
Okay.
Nothing ventured,
Go
nothing
ahead and
gained.
give it a shot while she's attempting this.
It's not likely to work, but I have to try. She probably had. Yeah.
What's the save?
Wisdom save.
Okay.
I know it's not gonna work, but
What's your DC? 20, right?
20.
30 or 27.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 37.
Shit.
Flows into Rashan and he takes a breath. Does not exhale. His eyes are pure white.
He levitates.
No.
About 20 feet up, right next to you.
Hi.
Drops his staff. It goes clattering off the edge onto the ground. And he reaches behind his back. He pulls up 2 bags.
Bags?
Give me an intelligence check.
20.
20.
Dirty 20.
He's holding 2 bags of gold. Just levitates up to you. Eyes
Oh no.
white.
Oh no.
Making contact.
What?
Gets within 5 feet of you. And puts 1 bag of holding in the other. Nori's gone. No save. And you. No air. You see endless field of stars. You know this as the astral plane. Off in the distance,
Don't tell me it's a city.
some of the stars in this field, the first thing you see, blotted out in a large black area, seemingly moving closer to you.
Please tell me you have a plan strip prepared.
Like, I've hit her. Now what's the song? And maybe your god will show you the song.
I only have one thing, and it's so unlikely to work.
I know.
Yeah. Divine intervention. If I were level 20, it would definitely work.
I need a phone or something
You
that's
don't have
working.
plane shift?
I need to log into Roll20. Jill, give me your
Now
computer
you know
real quick.
Why?
Unplug it, give me your computer.
Why? I'm doing stuff. Oh! I did prepare plane shift because we talked about it.
There you go.
Okay, you want this?
Real quick.
I'm going to
No, lay
Ouch.
down.
do my thing.
Lay down.
Okay, do you do
Set
that
up.
before or after it hits?
No.
When does that take that's after the attack,
So
right?
reaction to them and attack.
Oh, so that would go before the attack. Go for it.
I'm gonna say it's a zombie. I'm pretty sure it got this. One would hope.
I did.
Its hand starts going out, and Rasslin
It's over
just
12.
whips around with his sword,
I think he's got
19 to hit.
hits.
an axe. Fame Eater is an axe.
15 slashing and 4 necrotic.
It's dead.
No.
So the arm, it has one arm grappling a Teth, and she kind of wrestling with it. So the one goes out to strike, and you just right in the middle of the forearm
It's a
cut it
badass.
off. And as it's stepping forward, you cuts down through the forearm, in through the hip, and it just falls to the ground dead. So that zombie's dead. A Teth is no longer grappled, but there's a rigor mortis hand attached to some of her clothing. She can't seem to shake it off right away.
Thing.
Yeah. Nori. In the astral plane, a shadowy figure blotting out the stars, moving in your direction.
How far away is it?
Give me a perception check.
It's hard to tell on the astral plane. I just did it.
It's the
17.
99.
17,
Yeah, perception.
somewhere between 50 feet and 1,000 feet. Words to cast a spell.
Then I cast plane shift.
You see the mists come out of your mouth as you're casting the spell, and the vapor turns to ice crystals, and they drift away in little blots as your tuning fork begins to glow. You come back.
But I don't necessarily come back in the same spot.
You come
though.
back wherever you want if you have some.
Oh, wherever I want?
Wherever
Yeah.
if you
You're
have
thinking
some.
of the spot where you come back.
If you can come back near a person that you know well. You can come back a place you know well. Somewhere.
Reappear interest in arms.
Not when he's in that thing's face.
It's like,
Get out of here!
I
Okay,
appreciate this, but timing.
Okay. Okay, I'll stay right there. That's my turn.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
And no bonus actions. What? No bonus
Cleric.
actions.
Heal. I mean,
It
you're
is
pretty good.
Percy's turn.
Come on, Percy, fuck him
I
up.
already said.
Then it's your guys' lair action, and then Renarius. And then we're back to the top of the song.
Fuck him up, Percy.
Percy. I'm gonna make my way. Well, it's a 15. Do I add anything to it?
No. 15 with advantage?
Yes.
Guzzle it all down.
Okay, so that potion gives me another bonus action every turn for a minute.
Okay.
Are you allowing me another bonus action this turn?
Your bonus action was to take it.
Yep.
You still have a bonus action from the potion.
Gotcha.
So I think the answer to that is yes. Okay.
I yell out to the mages and to the druids and everybody. Kill the god! Kill the god! And but at the same time, I run 80 feet towards this structure,
Mm-hmm.
and I take another shot at fuckface.
Alright, Rashan.
Fucking do it.
Fuck, that's a plus 14 to hit. That's a 29 to hit.
Hell yeah, that is. I'm dead, Rashan.
All those McGee's at it again.
He takes 57 points of piercing damage
So if I
Okay.
get
as
rid
the
of
arrow
these,
sinks into
it's-
him. I 57, I said. Correct?
56, you said.
Yeah. 56 points of piercing damage.
I
And
can
I also
move
yell out,
25 feet.
I will kill him as many times as you want to resurrect him. I'm gonna move my 80 feet with the bonus action.
So in 2
Zola
turns,
looks
I
at you
plan
with
to be
a
an eagle.
pained expression.
Bye bye, fuckboy.
Red and Nori, seeing Rashan right there, she says, "The army's close, but I can't bring them all through." Popping out is Farfan Flickerbonk and 3 other battle mages.
They're so cool.
These are kobolds, but
Hell
I don't know
yeah.
where they are. So they
But
pop
that
out.
name.
Farfan Flickerbonk holding a small barrel in his hand. He yells out, "That's about enough out of you! Fuck off!" And he throws the barrel up at Xala.
Fuck yeah.
She's gonna do a
Killing.
dex save.
Killing Tristan.
She failed, didn't she?
She failed. She got a 14. She's
Xala did?
Yeah, she's unable to avoid the explosion. As you, Rashan, you immediately recognize the tss of a fuse going, and as it gets right in front of her face, you see she blinks and blood tears go flying out.
What's his name again?
Farfan Flickerbonk.
It sounds like something Rose and Island would say in the Golden Rose.
Okay, Renarius is going to try and grapple Xala. Yeah, he's fine. He runs up and jumps up on her leg and goes to grapple. And like you can see, he's obviously pulling like towards the portal, but he can't move her. He
This guy.
gets. Oh my god, he's terrible. He got a 7 for his athletics.
He's about as useful as that one dragon was.
Xala
in the-
can't fail.
That dragon dude. He's
yeah.
super cowardly.
She got a 17 for her
Yep.
opposing check. So
Fucking
he runs up and he grapples her right along like her shin.
At least
She
Renarius
just
is great.
kicks him.
Oh, be nice to
and-
him.
He goes. He failed by 10 or more. He goes flying and falls down prone next to the cultist. Now looking very bad, starting to lose confidence.
I mean,
46.
to be fair, if a demigod kicked me, I don't think that would lose my confidence that much.
15.
Can I have that 90-foot measure again?
The other side of his face now is bloody and bruised. Like, one of his eyes looks like it could pop out at any second. It's bad.
I loved that character, and he's just he's just the bumbling idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
I fucking loved it.
Very skilled fighter and strategist, but nothing against a demigod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I basically...
Like a 9 plus
Okay,
a 1.
so she looks down at you, Tristan. She says, "You dare. You dare.
Oh, I dare.
No more. Finger of death.
Alright.
Anyone can roll a 1.
How many luck points have you
This is my second.
Okay.
One of the rolls.
Same roll.
No shit. You can
22.
Actually, you technically use another one.
Yeah, I'll use another one.
Last lot.
You're
Last
using
lot.
another one.
Because it's
Yes,
all
it's
like.
last one.
Well, I knew it would fail because I knew 22 last time,
Yeah,
so I
it's the
would.
same
Okay.
thing.
That's less, so fail.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, on a failure, you subtract 1d10 to all attack rolls or saving throws you make before. This will end at the start of Xala's next turn.
Okay.
And now, it is Ellie's turn.
Yeah.
I am going to
looking
cast
great.
Sunbeam directly at Nissa.
Hey.
Fucking nerds.
You rolled a
I don't
2
even know what's
and a
happening.
7, so she got a 9.
What
She
I love
failed,
is like
and I
when
need
Goku
3
got
more
instant
D8.
transmission and
Oh, yeah.
You want to mark her
He's
as
like-
blinded?
He's like, yeah.
Dragon.
It's not currently up, but it could
Oh.
be.
I was
She needs
gonna
to
say,
make another con save.
Something
Okay.
Yep.
So
Fuck
a
you, bitch.
massive radiant blast erupts
Wait, is she
around
on?
Nissa.
Well, I mean, she already failed, I guess.
Huh?
She already failed, so never mind.
And she is blinded by, see when it fades, there's burns all over her undead skin. And
She technically has disadvantage on it.
There's no sense.
I am going to bonus action
No, but I'm also.
Dragon Necklace.
I can't.
yeah, alright.
And she takes 3d6. 10 poison damage.
After Ellie's turn, she is going to use a legendary action.
Perfect.
Bitch.
And
Do it.
of course.
Teleports. Now it's your turn.
Ah.
Rashlin, she's actually gotten down to our level.
I'll show you.
Yeah. I'll,
10, 20, 40.
I think I'll use my action to probably be smart and just take a healing potion. Use the superior.
They do.
They do?
Bonus
Oh.
action second wind.
Do you have more?
Yeah. Rasslin, you're next.
Light aura, I'm gonna try to get here. 15, I need to, whoever I can, yeah, I'll try to get right here because whoever she attacks within that light, 15-foot light is a disadvantage. I can't attack.
Xala looks at Percy and says, engulf.
Also,
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
at advantage, and I think my aura.
30 total.
30 is a success. Her eyes, your ground underneath you burns and starts to gout up flames, and you
Bump it.
deep breath, focus, shaking it off, and you take no damage.
Like a paladin.
Can I laugh and say, not today?
Sure. From the middle level as you yell that out. Renaria says, "Huzzah!"
From lying down. Smash.
Yeah.
How is Tristan?
He's having now.
Okay, Rasslin, your turn.
So I am going to use my scroll of Finger of Death on this one.
Okay.
Scroll a finger of death, huh?
He's sitting.
The con save.
Con save. So
For
that's
Xala.
9 plus 7, which is a 16.
My DC is 19.
Fail.
Let's see, 65 points of damage. Necrotic
Okay, Nissa wilts under the necrotic influx that surrounds her and pulls from what's left of her life energy. You can see cracks form in her skin. She
Honey, I can take
is very near bloodied.
it. Near bloody.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and action
That's
surge.
what he likes.
Now's the time to do it.
Love it.
Give me the phone.
25 to hit Xala.
25 to hit.
Yeah.
Bill.
That is a hit. 9 slashing.
4 necrotic.
You saw that, right?
But Xala is immune to necrotic.
Xala's immune to necrotic. Yeah.
There's the
Alright,
window.
second attack.
He can't get by.
That's your turn, you said?
17 to hit.
He's attacking.
Oh, you're attacking again.
Second attack. Yeah, 17 to hit.
That misses. Your second swipe, you go to hit. She kind of puts her leg up and you hit solid plate armor that's thicker than your arm. Zola's lair action is next. Zola's eyes, the blood drops. Her eyes become smoldering black voids, trails of smoke coming out, and it seems like anything within 100 or so feet of her is under this effect. Nissa is once again going to cast Blight on Ellie.
It's a saving
Con
throw.
save.
28.
Thank you. That is 40
Like,
points.
to me, it's justified. To me,
necrotic
to me,
damage.
taking control would be justified, but maybe everybody
Halved
else
to
is
20.
like, oh, like,
Nori's turn.
Kill it, Nori.
I don't know
oh,
if
no.
it negates any healing.
Oh, we're already doing
The last one was just 2d10.
Nori's
They
going
go.
to.
Yeah, well, they hand you one. They hand you.
I'm gonna look at everyone and just stop
oh, no, I already got
flapping my
Oh,
wings.
this one's a
and
different
start
color.
falling.
This is even more weird.
I'm scared for you.
That's right. And right at like 10 feet, I'm gonna start flapping again. And hover out. And then I'm just gonna land. Okay, I'm going to.
Oh, they can tell time. I have
mass
no idea.
heal.
Mass heal.
I can get my whole group and Rainarius. I don't think anyone has a disease or is blinded or deafened. It would cure that.
I don't think anyone's under those effects.
Okay. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is yell out after Tristan enters it. On my go, I'm gonna start singing. I need all the spellcasters to join me. That's all. That's it. You can
Teth, you
hold.
can see Teth conjuring some spell. She with you.
I ruined the fully points.
Person.
Okay.
Kill it, Percy.
The bow goes back. The 2 daggers come out of the assassin's bracers, and I run up to her and attack her with the heavenly sword, the heavenly dagger.
Attacking Nissa.
Yep. So that's a 28 to hit.
That hits.
She took a handful of dice.
She takes 8 points of radiant damage, if that makes a difference.
You're attacking this, alright?
Yep. Plus 2 for the dagger is 54. She takes 54 points of piercing damage after after the radiant damage.
She's looking pretty
Relatively
rough.
speaking.
After that one, as you get her up through the neck and it pokes out of her cheek, you see a gout of black ichor leak out of her after you pull your dagger out, and then she coughs up a big blob.
Bonus action,
Deserves it.
Dagger of Dashing.
Ulrich.
Yeah, we're
29 to hit.
almost foot.
Bitch
29
deserves it.
hits.
Thing from me.
It's
Are you
11
gonna need
more
D10s?
piercing damage for the Dagger of Dashing.
This D8,
And
so-
then second bonus action because I took the potion. Dagger of Dashing again.
I forget that I actually don't roll on the
Awesome.
dice anymore because I don't roll for
11
healing,
plus
and that's what I've been
12
doing.
is 23 to hit.
Also hits.
So 8
Should be
for
13
Ellie's
points
need.
of piercing damage
That's it.
again.
And
So
D20.
Yeah, just the
stab,
dice
stab,
that-
stab.
She is very close. She's barely hanging on. Her jaw is loose now. You've cut it away. Big gaping hole in her chest. You can see her undead heart not beating, and her lungs unmoving, and she still moves.
And I would say
Gonna
you
do my
needed to
bonus action
stay
and
dead.
start singing.
Very close.
She's still alive?
Yeah.
Just
Barely.
Fuck that.
She's only mostly dead.
I hate her.
Mostly.
Brings us to battle mages, the druids,
Friendly
and
NPCs.
Farfan Flickerbonk. And they're moving into attack. The battle mages,
Okay.
they all cast magic missiles.
Fuck yes.
So
Towards
3,
Xala.
6, 20 magic missiles
Battleship style.
That's
explode
awesome.
all over Xala
They
as
just
she writhes in
But
pain,
that's Solaris.
swinging her sword around. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Farfan, he yells out, "I got another one for you, you fucking god!" And he tosses it. And he tosses it way up high. So I think Raslin's the only one in range on this one.
Right next
Uh,
to her.
Yeah. And it explodes above her head. So Raslin, I need a dexterity saving throw.
21.
Okay, both of you succeed. 12 points of force
That's
damage,
awesome.
halved to 6. And 24 points of fire, halved to 12.
I
Renarius,
fell asleep.
he stands up.
Get him, boy.
He's
Get
at
him.
full health.
Yeah, he's at full health. Takes a big, deep breath. Points at Xala. As I said. Pulls out a pair of handcuffs and throws them at her.
Shut up.
"You're under arrest," and he stabs the dead cultist next to him while he's looking at her.
That's all he does?
Yep. He gives
Show
a
her
quick.
your zombie baby.
He gives a quick look at Birdie,
Birdie.
who uses her entire fly speed to try and grapple Xala.
Nah.
The rock got a 17
Plus.
Oh, you're okay.
plus 9,
Okay.
26. Xala.
Get him, Rodan.
Got a 16 plus 9.
They have the same addition. So the rock
Yeah.
grappled her.
Renarius says,
You found her.
"I'll have you yet."
She's crying.
And that
Baby's
is
crowning.
his turn. Ateth looks
I'm
over
wearing
with
a
a
crown.
squint over at Renarius, shakes her head, and moves. Where's Nori? You see her clutch a necklace that she has on, and it glows with blue energy. She begins to levitate, and she rises up, and not very far, just 10 feet or so, and next to the rock.
Stop feeling her up.
And her eyes glow white as she stares at you, Nori, and you can hear her voice in your head. Brings us back to the top of the round with Xala, who is first going to use a legendary action after a Teth.
Hold her buddy.
Wisdom saving throw. And she looks at you and she
Advantage.
says,
+5.
"Burn for Rashan."
I grit my teeth. Give me. Give me everything you've got. Wisdom save?
+5 because by Tristan.
32.
32. Once again,
Natural 18.
Fuck.
once again unable to secure her immolating gaze on you.
Nice.
She is up, set. She gets within 10 feet of Percy, and her gigantic sword is slamming down on you with a multi-attack. 18 points of slash. No, 18 plus 8. That's 26 points of slashing.
Uncanny dodge to half it, so that's
13.
13.
So as her sword slashes across you, it bursts into flames. 29 points of fire damage. That is 15 plus 8, so 23 points of slashing, 29 points of fire damage. And her last attack, she's going to use her Horrid Touch. So it's not even an attack roll. Her slashes across you twice. She reaches out and grabs your face. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
+5. That's all I can give you.
Con save. +5.
The Sentinel her for these attacks.
How do you do first?
Probably not. Con save is an 18.
18 is a fail. 45 points of necrotic damage.
I stumble back to one knee, extremely hurt.
Death
But
Ward, baby.
but I don't go down.
Right.
That doesn't take me down to 0.
Death Ward, right?
Nope.
Oh, something
You
else?
got enough.
No.
points.
I'm at
Mary.
3 hit points.
Oh, okay. Go ahead with your
I'm the only one
Sentinel,
that's lost.
Ryan.
I got 32 to hit.
Miss. No, I'm just kidding. That hits.
Freak me a little bit behind Ariel's DM screen.
11 slashing, 4 necrotic.
Well, she looks at you with her bonus action and she says, "Corrupt." I will need a charisma saving throw.
+5.
22
coming.
to save.
That won't save.
Fail. Until the start of Xala's next turn, you subtract a d10 from attacks and saving throws.
Okay.
Well, I use all
now
stuff to get close
it is
to
Ellie's
the field. So.
Ellie would just yell to Nori and be like, "This better work," and she waits for Nori's signal.
hold your action to sing with her.
Bring this up.
I
Tristan.
know. That's a big deal for Ellie.
Okay.
Just do it. Just do
I
it.
fly up into her face, and I swing at the bitch. Natural 1.
Okay, so you fly up and you go to swing at her and stab,
Yeah.
and this field around her, you feel a tingle in your arm, you drop the dagger. You scoop down, give me an acrobatics or athletics check.
Acrobatics. 10 plus 22.
22, no problem. You roll on your wings and grab the dagger again, ready for another strike.
Alright.
But in the midst of that, Xala gets a strike.
I'm fine with that.
That's a 25 to hit.
At disadvantage, because I have my whip light out.
It's actually a 19 to hit.
Miss.
So she swings at you, and as you're rolling, you see it coming. Fuck, and
Do a barrel roll.
yeah, you barrel roll out of the way
Triple barrel.
behind the back, catch the dagger, and go in for another strike.
7 plus 15 is 22.
Just
Whoa!
Yeah, 51 piercing.
Piercing,
plus-
31 force.
Yeah. Plus 7 radiant because I forget I have improved divine smite. So that's in there as well. Alright, I'm going to use my third attack. 13 plus 15 is 29.
that is a hit.
Yeah.
A rat swarm comes out and bites all in the ass.
Ridiculous.
We were ugly.
52 piercing.
And you guys were
15, 22 force damage.
How much radiant?
2.
I need you. Your highest stat?
My highest stat? Dex.
Dex. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics. Gonna beat a 21.
21.
Okay. Give me a intimidation check.
Hey, I'm actually proficient in that. Never used it, but I'm proficient. 30.
She got a 27. So, with your last strike, you are in the air, in her face, flipping. You stab right into her neck. You do another barrel roll, and she swings, and you get her right in the temple. Goes into her brain. Her eyes flash with red, and she lashes out to bite at you. You dodge out of the way, and you stand there, and you can see her red, flaming eyes dim for a moment. Flickers. She looks at you. Swallows hard. Tries to back away. Not opportunity attack, but
Yeah, she's grappled technically. She can't move.
She is weakened.
Okay.
Raslan is next. Just before Raslan goes, Rashan's lifeless body,
That fucker.
undead, not breathing, lifts, and a hand with gray eyes reaches out towards Xala. Go to Ironshire. He's fully dead. She looks at him and nods. Raslan.
I only got a 20 to hit.
20 to hit?
Yeah.
20 is a miss. You once again clang into thick plate armor. Echoes off your
Then
weapon.
I will use a superiority die to Commander's Strike conscious.
Alright.
Nice.
I gotta write down numbers.
And what? 25 to hit.
Hits.
Is 50 points of piercing.
That's not bad. All the D10. You need this one?
Which brings her to
okay.
666 hit points.
Oh my god, she is the devil.
15,
You can try and kill her.
We got it.
27 force. Well,
Is that your turn, Raslan?
Yep.
oh my.
Xola's eyes flash with green necrotic energy, and it's blinding within 120 feet of her. That's the lair action. Nissa. Somehow still alive. Nissa's going to cast Thunder Wave at 4th level, which will get Ellie and Percy.
15.
Oh,
Am
I'm
I-
sorry, it's a con save.
Oh, way better.
Yeah.
What did the layer action do?
20.
Just
20?
Am I within 10 feet of you?
No, I flew
So this
up
is
to get
Nissa?
close.
Not safe.
15 total for me.
15, that just fails. So you succeeded. So 24 points of thunder damage,
Does it push me away?
and it pushes you 10 feet away.
Perfect. I fly.
12 points of damage to you.
I would like to
I fly 10
absorb
feet,
element.
10 feet backwards, and
You're up next.
flash of wings come out. My death ward activates. I'm on the ground prone,
Oh, you have one?
but I'm still alive
Yeah.
because of death ward. Death ward's gone.
Boom! Your vision flashes white. You open your eyes again. You're looking up, and you see a gigantic sword, a leathery wing with spikes tipped in hard golden metal armor, and Xala stares over you with a grin, toothy and nasty on her face.
Hey, cutie.
Okay, Nissa bolts
You should get a single.
Nori, it is your turn.
I'm just gonna look at all my friends. I'm gonna look at Percy and kind of wince at him, and I'm just gonna be like, "He'll be okay." And I'm gonna start singing.
Okay.
And side note, I don't know if it's gonna help in any way with this, but I did take the God's Touch potion.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives me a closer connection with my God.
Okay. Roll a d100.
Roll them dice. Roll them balls.
How far
40?
is Nissa from me now?
Hmm?
How far is Nissa from me now?
That's
47.
14.
No, 47.
That's a 10.
I rolled 14.
Okay. You can channel divinity right now if you want to.
Divine intervention, you mean?
Yes.
I do it.
Do it.
I fucking do it.
What do you want?
We're singing.
You're singing.
Ugh.
And
Oh my god.
AS
Oh my god.
echoes in your head.
Oh.
Echoing in your head as you begin to sing. Your voice you don't even know where it's coming from. Angelic. You all are stunned for a moment.
I'm sorry.
Ateth stutters in her singing. You hear AS. This is what you are for, my child. This is why you are here. It's okay.
I do. I'm gonna cry.
What do you want to happen?
How do you want?
Like just one thing, or can I say multiple things?
You can certainly try.
Okay. I'm gonna say I want to rid all planes of Xala and destroy the portal.
Okay. What does your song sound like? Are there any words that echo throughout it?
It's a lot of celestial, so it sounds very different and angelic. It sounds like the Nori song that's
Sure.
The words are basically of love and friendship and family. And as I sing, I just look at my friends and rest my hand on my stomach and keep singing.
Ateth looks in your direction, and the words are also coming out of her mouth. A little bit of confusion, but she seems to know the song.
And Ellie too.
She can hear AS in her head, and so can you, and you hear not a cacophony, but a chorus of the gods of nature and justice. Odin and the animals echo through your head. You know the words. You're singing them out loud in Celestial, whether you understand them or not. And your final strike on Xala, you're stabbing in and hanging on. And Tristan begins to glow with radiant white light as the three of the casters are chanting in his direction with this song, and Xala begins to fade. River 6, how do you want to do this?
I'm gonna cry.
I'd love to see Xala like basically bow down to Nori like as she's singing, be like completely humbled by the song.
Xala is...
Cut her at the kneecaps and make her bow.
Xala is... so Rashan comes up and leaps up and whacks Xala in the knee as the singing is going on, and a celestial hand reaches down from the sky and punches Xala in the back of the knees, and she falls down, grasping her head as she screams, trying not to be pulled to the hells or away from her existence.
I
And
sing harder.
as your voice booms, the resonance of your voice, along with the other casters, Ellie included, the temple starts to shake. It initially feels like an earthquake. The rocks sort of vibrate and lift up off the ground before you notice it's the gate. The gateway starts gouting flame as it cracks and crumbles, explodes, raining down debris across the entire field. And Xala again screams, her connection to her demonic horde severed. She's alone on this plane and fading.
I do a
As her
barrel.
song grows louder.
I do a barrel roll backwards, and I throw the holy dagger to stick into her temple. And I
Go ahead
yell,
and roll an attack. Her armor class is severely diminished as she's just sitting there.
it was 29 to hit.
Even if she was fine. Yeah, you jump up, spin, throw the holy dagger, and its blade spins separated, but feels as if it was attached.
And
Spears her right in the head.
As it sinks in, I yell to her, if you ever come back to this plane, you know what you're gonna face.
She screams, and the dagger, she shakes her head, and then you can see a beam of light come over her, and the dagger rips her head upward and begins pulling her up towards the sky as a hole opens in the clouds. For the first time in a week, you guys see actual sunlight.
Anyone else gonna do anything?
I will take the dagger and with the last attack that I had, I got it in there and I'm holding it in there and I'm just using the rest of my spell slots, powering up enough radiant energy where basically my clothes are ripping because I'm channeling a lot of energy and just forcing so much radiant damage into it and just be like, this world does not need old, it needs to start anew. So we gotta get rid of you.
As you do that, you guys can see the dagger's pulling her up, Tristan's hanging on, calling out, and you see his back, his spine glows radiant, and it pumps into his arms and into the dagger, and it explodes. And the dagger remains in your hand, but there's no more blade. The obsidian is shattered and embedded in her, and those shards, as they sticks, begin to glow in different shades of color as they bind her to a plane of non-existence outside this realm. And you can see Aes's hand reach down.
Can I do one more thing before she's gone?
Yep.
At second level, I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon
Yeah.
and make Penny appear,
Yes.
and I'm just gonna say, "This is for my dad," and I'm gonna attack her.
Go for it. Penny goes up and slams her right in the ass. And
That beautiful ass.
you can see her, she's almost petrifying, solidifying. One of her ass cheeks falls to the ground as a stone chunk. And as she's drawn away, the sunlight that is Aes's hand reaches down and helps her along to be cast. It looks like it's slow motion. And Xala is cast out. The beam of sunlight that remains, Ellie, you look down and you notice 2 blades of grass and a small daisy flowering before your eyes.
I was so happy.
All of the cultists and the creatures on the temple and any zombies remaining are vaporized as the flash of light from the sun beam that's coming down eradicates the land of corruption. The lifeless prairie begins to spring back to life. I'm sorry?
I'm gonna throw my dagger at this.
Go for it. You don't even have to roll. She's dead.
Ellie needs to get that kill.
So the gate is exploded. The kids are all dead still. Minor amount of investigation, you would know that the stones that make this and the gateway are from Cole, which is another island off the coast of Adarath. And that's the only part that exploded. They're black stones of coal. You have it in your
What
ledger.
happened to the soul stones?
Gone. So you get up to the top, Percy.
Well, with them.
You're coming up with us?
Because I think I know what you want to do
Your
And-
first grappling hook, you leap up and you start to carry them, and it's a little heavy for that grappling hook.
Well, they're flying. She's
Oh.
flying. He's flying
just
her
getting
up,
there.
but I'm
Oh,
getting
okay.
I'm getting up there myself.
Gotcha. Birdie.
We could also take Birdie.
Birdie swings over and grabs Raslan, Ellie, and Renarius. Hops up on the top.
And a Teth. Grab a Teth, too.
A Teth just levitates.
Oh,
up.
she's badass.
It's like, I got this.
She's my clone.
I know what she wants to do, and I lay every single diamond that I have in my bag of holding down.
I handle
Um,
mine.
Take out 2.
Which I think in my bag of holding, if you go to my character sheet on Roll20, it says like I have 10 diamonds of
Good size or
good
something.
size. Yeah, they're like
I
they're
have so many diamonds, too.
Yep, I
Um,
hand you
in
2
my bio.
diamonds worth 100 gold
Okay.
and 2 diamonds worth 400.
When I get up there, I'm gonna go up to one child to start with, the one whose soul I have in the necklace,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and I will hold the soul pendant, and I will say the command word and release the soul to
And
the child.
body was under gentle repose. So
Yeah, and so does it come back to life, or
It
do I
didn't
need to
have-
heal it?
It's unstable and will start making death saves.
Okay, then I will cast a second level Cure Wounds on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
They max at 1 hit point, so.
And then I will go and revivify all the other ones. I have
Do
three
you have- You
revivifies.
have slots and everything?
Yep.
Okay, so you revivify them. Upon revivifying the last one, another beam of light shines over the temple, and a shadowy figure descends, looming over the top, arms spread, gigantic wings behind him, and Akir lands before you. He doesn't stop at his feet. He continues into a kneel and a bow.
Oh, well, I was gonna bow to him.
And he says,
We completed
says,
their
"Our deal
thing.
is complete. Aes will be with you for the rest of your life."
I just kind of nod my head and bow at him.
He goes and touches each of the children. His wings beat. He flies back up into the sky.
I'm also gonna do a 6th level heal on Percy.
Pretty sure he's chugging healing
Yeah,
potions at this
Percy.
Is Raslan doing anything here?
78 hit points.
Yeah, he's gonna use his last spell slot to cast Dance Macabre and reanimate 5 of the zombies.
Hell yeah.
And then he's gonna command them to start cleaning up. So some of them like start pulling up bushes and sweeping, and
Yeah.
other ones start piling bodies to burn. And then a couple of them I also command to start
So-
tending to the nature that's regrowing in the land. So they like get down on their hands and knees and start like planting flowers.
Yes, they do. The ones that are disposing of bodies are just chucking dead bodies into the lava pits that are around here, and every step Ellie takes, grass and flowers bloom.
point. Every move she makes.
Could I carefully, not too destructive to the land that's now growing anew, cast erupting earth on like the corner of this temple
Sure.
after seeing like go down and come back?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like those to
Yeah.
get inside.
Go ahead and roll damage for that.
Also, when Raslan starts bringing the dead back to life, I'm like, Raslan! And then I see what he's doing. I'm like, okay, thank you. Yeah.
I thought she was gonna just do channel divinity.
Yeah,
there.
right.
As they're doing it, they're sort of like waggling their heads as like a dance.
Do animals come back?
You haven't seen any yet, but every
Yes.
step you take, the
Ellie's healing it.
Move you make.
Not very good.
Hey, Matt Anderson, did you get out a bottle of Brute and a bottle of Spumante?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage.
9 damage.
Nine.
You're erupting earth. You can hear it just underneath the temple.
Does it make it safe? It's dexterity safe.
No. You hear a. Several of the
But
stone.
like I would just do like a corner.
Yeah, several of the stone blocks crack. A little bit of it crumbles away.
Could I then
looks
use
like-
mold earth to kind of move the pieces out?
Yeah, you can use mold earth, especially underneath.
Yeah, just to kind of move pieces to make a doorway for us to kind of go in and see,
After we're done at
see
the
how
top,
many children may or may not be.
So Ellie molds earth to get through the temple. Renarius hops on Birdie to get, he's just riding around.
Probably have Rainarius bring us and the kids down with Birdie first. Before he's flying around.
yeah, like we were up there to
around
resurrect
down
the kids.
Yeah, and then we brought him down to safety.
Yeah, you guys find an ancient
Bill's like, what?
inner sanctum temple.
The way he was holding it earlier, I was like, there's something in there. I don't know about that.
Yeah, Xala was eventually going to teleport dimension door into here, assuming you guys would follow. And then she was going to raise the temple and take it to Ironshire, which would have then eventually dropped the floor away. If anyone was on here, would do something. But
Can I-
you guys were too badass and you killed her. You
Did we
banished
find
her.
any more
Just
children
because
or
I'm
anything
Percy,
like that
if-
in there?
Say again?
Did we find any more children or anything like that?
You find, you find 7 cages. 1 is empty. The rest have 3 Aasimar and 3 Tiefling children. And they are just passed out, alive, breathing, but
I
emaciated.
just strong arm. The
Yeah.
cage is open.
23 investigation. We don't find anything else with those kids.
No, there's a sort of a throne that looked like big enough for Xala to sit in, and you can see glowing crystals in each corner of the structure, and they are pulsing as if it could do something if commanded. What do you need?
After we get out of the temple, I ask everybody, I think we should take this down.
Raslin's got a little something for that.
I don't think we should leave this up for our next generation to be able to figure out what this is or what to do with it.
I'm gonna take my C4 powder and give it to what's his face, the guy that's been throwing bombs.
Farfan?
Farfan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to him and hand it to him and say, you should probably take down this temple so that it can't be used in the future. You seem to be the explosives expert. You find a good place for this.
He turns to you and says, "We'll do it together." And he gets a wicked look on his face, and his eye starts twitching, and he looks around the temple, and he finds the 4 beams, and he places a little bit on each beam. Every time he moves, he grabs your shirt, and he says, "Come on, next one." And he pulls you all around, and he pulls a little bit of one of the bombs that he didn't use. He scatters it around other areas, and then it's about half full.
Do you want
He
sweet
places
or
it in one particular corner,
You want to try this one?
and he points out some of the cracks to you and explains how it's going to break away and
Nothing
chain
sweet.
reaction
Nothing
the
sweet.
rest of it.
Needs
He says, "You're going to have to
You want
use some
mine?
of that fancy magic. Set it off. Far away, very far away. 100 feet." And he runs out.
So yeah, I guess I'll use Eldritch Blast to set it off.
Okay,
Did someone pour-
so everyone rescues the children,
Yes.
and you see Raslan and Farfan doing this, and Farfan goes running, and when you see Explosive Expert run,
Let's go faster.
Most
Let's
other
go
people
faster.
run.
Let's go faster.
I pick up all the kids.
I grab 2 and just fly.
Yeah, right.
Raslan walks out with an Eldritch Blast crackling in his hand, gets 100 feet away, points
No, he don't even
He
look at it. Cool
yeah, he
guys don't
points
look at
Cool guys don't
explosions.
look at explosions.
behind the back.
Just
Smith.
like, done.
Yeah.
Oh, that was way too loud
Time.
of explosion. How do guys do this in the movies?
You guys see a big gout of smoke erupt out of where you came in, and then nothing. Farfan's like, shit. Wait for it. 10 more seconds, nothing.
I'm telling the kids to
I'm
cover their
I'm still
ears.
moving back. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't trust them. I'm like,
He pulls out some goggles, straps them on. I'm going in, and he gets about 20 feet away from
Can
it.
I
and
stop Farfan?
Boom! He goes flying back. Raslan needs to make a dex save as Farfan goes flying towards you.
I start readying some healing magic.
Hey,
What?
16 deck save.
16, no problem. You duck out of the way. Farfan goes flying over your head and smacks you into a rock about 30 feet away. And his face is black. All of his hair is blown back straight. And he says, "Ha! It worked!" And the entire building is crumbling, cracking, falling in on itself, and begins actually settling as mud and water start bubbling up, sinking into the ground. And around the entire ring where water spreads, everywhere
We just
you...
created a pretty lake.
Yeah, the lake forms, and around the edge, nearest where Ellie is, there's immediately visible seaweed, and a couple of cattails start just popping up and
Love cattails.
forming, blooming, and leaving a nice, actually, there's a bit of a sandy area before it turns into grass.
sandbar.
And it's surrounded by the beam of sunlight still. There's two. There's one over here and one over the temple area. It's a sandy, sunny beach with a lake.
I just lay next to it.
It's comforting. It's beautiful, other than some of the other stuff around. But this here and this moment, this area you're in, and you see a ripple in the water while you're sitting there.
I stick my head in.
It's a giant frog.
Stick your head underneath, and an otter comes up and boops your nose.
Oh, otters.
I pick
And then,
it up.
yeah,
Oh,
it floats up out of the water on its belly. You pick it up, and it starts just rolling around in your arms. It's hard to hold on to. It's all
Yeah.
slippery, but it's it's just
My
playing
love
with
kid
you.
had actually, at my mom's place, had trail cam footage of otters when they were hanging out in the
Next
pond
to
one summer.
the water, I would like to plant my tree token.
Yeah.
Excellent. You do that, and whatever normal time frame it would take for your tree token to sprout, whether it's instantaneous or not,
It's like the rock, but it's a tree.
yeah. In this sunlit area surrounded by Aes and Odin's magic now, throw your tree down, and it immediately sprouts a 20-foot wide, gigantic ancient oak that shades the entire area. It's almost it's as tall as the temple, and shades the entire area in place of where the temple once was.
I'll go drop acorns and build more trees.
And you can certainly take the time over the next year or two to spread those seeds and revitalize the Lifeless Prairie.
I'll bring some squirrels.
Raston's gonna climb up on the top of the hill there and start using his mage hand to carry firecrackers up into the air like super cheesy makeshift fireworks.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
Use
love
a little
it.
bit of your boom powder, wrap it up in a little like rip off a piece of a scroll.
Hell yeah.
Well, at this point, Percy has gotten himself into the pond that has sprouted.
It's pure clean water.
I am on my back
Yeah,
and
just
I'm
right.
looking up into the sky, just floating, watching the fireworks.
As the fireworks
Hands of
blast
otters.
all around. Percy, you close your eyes for a moment, and as you're floating there, and you don't so much hear a voice as sense a thought. And it just occurs to you that being sneaky, being a thief, being a rogue, part of the underworld, it's not all bad. Some of that life is okay. And you can sense Darian. Minor deity or not, you feel a presence. You know they're real. And you feel like that underworld life is easily corruptible, but those who sway that way, they might need someone like Darian, they might need someone like you. Those orphans who might get sucked into that life. You made it out. There's a way.
Time to be a role model.
Gotta get it home, crew.
Uncle Percy.
Tristan.
Yeah. So
Grand finale for my fireworks display. I cast a crown of stars and shoot all the stars.
Yes. Yes.
From the magic of this area, some of the huge pieces of stone that made up the temple are sort of floating in a slow arc. And before they can get to the ground, the crown of stars shoots out, blasting all of them, and they go turning into sand and glittering as they erupt into smaller pieces of quartz and granite that just crumbles. And it's outside of where you guys are here, there's just sort of sand and dirt falling in a shower as Rashan blasts all the remaining pieces of the temple into nothingness.
he's just kind of looking around and seeing how impressive everyone is. Just seeing Ellie bringing nature back and all that stuff. Just looking around at the life-filled prairie and be like, this would not be a bad area to retire.
While you're thinking that, standing there, no one else sees this, but you sense a little bit more heat on the top of your head, and you look up and there's a bright light.
Who's crying?
You look away, but everything around you is white now. You can't see anyone else or anything, it's all white.
You're dead.
You
You've
hear...
I was never here in the first place.
He was never there.
I'm Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
I see dead people.
You hear in your head a single word in the old voice of Ace, whom you've met personally now. Congratulations. You're back.
Thank you. And then he looks over at Nori, dealing with the kids. Will try to pull her aside.
I'm definitely like wrangling all the kids on the beach, comforting those who are sad, and letting some like swim with Percy and stuff.
Yeah. He basically just turned to her and just goes, "You're definitely the more impressive of the two of us." No, I love you, right?
Love you too. And I give him a kiss. And then I'm gonna say, what do you think about kids?
I don't know. I don't think I'm ready for them yet.
Might want to change your mind. And then I walk away. And keep playing with the kids.
Give me an insight check.
I get advantage on those. Thanks to that whip. 19. Natural 19 plus. Plus 2, so 21.
You realize Ace was not congratulating you on your success.
Yeah.
I just keep playing with the kids.
Oh, I guess he performed another resurrection on something like
You sort of double take, see Nori, and there's, in her perfect Asimar form, there's a little bulge.
I'm just like,
Tiny one.
I was
Squeeze it
getting
along.
her a dog.
Well, it's like
Like a blink
just boobs
corgi
and
or
then
something.
belt, right? So you can't.
Blink
You
corgi.
don't have to really worry about it.
What? You can breed other dogs. Nothing says you can't find a blink
Yeah.
corgi.
Yeah. Or a hell corgi.
I also would want to bury
Well, I mean, I see your spiritual weapon.
Bury
I'm
what?
gonna-
Nessa.
Okay. Where at?
Just where she lies. Just
Somewhere.
Old Earth kind of
Okay.
down and around her.
Okay. You mold earth. She sinks in. You bury her. You need a perception check.
26.
26. With the first sort of covering, you can see the gray, undead dullness leaves her skin and her eyes, and seems to take on the appearance more of a normal corpse. And after you're done burying her, you return to the beach under the oak, and meditating there for a moment, you look up in the leaves. You can see a couple of squirrels there. They sort of chitter and chatter around. You follow them until a particular arrangement of leaves sort of just strikes you as looking like a face. The wind rustles, and the mouth moves, and it just says, you hear in your head Mrs. voice. Sorry. We were best friends. That time.
Right. It's hard to cry when you wear glasses.
No. After a little bit, I'm gonna get up. Once I make sure Tristan and Percy are watching the kids, I'm gonna go over to Ellie.
Can I have some of those?
Yes. I'm gonna take one too. I'm gonna go over to Ellie. And if she's under the tree, I'm just gonna sit down next to her. And I'm gonna gently put my arm around her and say, "You're my best friend. I love you."
I'd say the same thing back. I'm like, cuddle.
Yep. And I hold her so tight.
If I would see that, I would actually join. I would sit myself next to Ellie and put my arm around Ellie and Nori.
Just quiet, or do you say anything?
At first quiet, but then I would say, you are my family. That's it.
You seem to have left her speechless.
I reach up and grab his hand around us.
So the River Styx, for a time, spend a little bit of peace in the Lifeless Prairie as it begins to restore itself with Ellie's help. Before first returning to Ironshire to see family and friends that you've left there,